invalid architecture and prop design. And by that, I mean making up part of a world so that you're basically getting inconsistencies. Maybe this is kind of should have gone with where's the inconsistent drawing or rendering. Maybe it could be combined in there. But specifically what I'm talking about is I've seen people, they're drawing characters in their stylized way. They're drawing different things, but they're trying to convey a certain time and place. So let's say Central Park current day, or even Central Park, 50 years ago. And there's an architecture to the benches in Central Park in New York City. You can't redesign those benches. They do look a certain way. You can design the people and the dog and the birds in your own way, but the benches kind of have to have a simple, even if it's simplified, version of that Central Park bench.
Otherwise,
it's not Central Park.
Ceases to be Central Park. It becomes something else.
So I've seen people out of their
like
head,
alternate reality.
Yeah, and I used to do this. You think, well, how hard could a bench be? I know that it's about this high. I know that it's about this wide. And so they get like the box that it would fit in, right? But then from there, out of the box, the bench looks like it was built in a 8th grade industrial arts class. I don't think they even have those anymore, though, do they? We have industrial arts anymore.
Is that like shop?
Yeah, shop class. It's like
Shop
like
class.
we got some 2x4s here, and we cut those. And then we'll just figure out, like, obviously 2x4s could come up and make the arms, and it's just really blocky and clunky, and it doesn't look like anything like a public bench.
Right.
And so that's probably the best example I could give is if you're trying to, you can take a mailbox that's found anywhere in Americana, the mailbox with the little flag that's out on the street.
Right.
And you take 100 illustrators and say, design a really fun mailbox. They're going to take that original design and they're going to riff on it. But the best ones are all going to remind you of that mailbox. It's not time to start over and just say, design any box that you could put out in front of your house. It's going to need to be rounded on the top.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yet you could type in mailbox into Google Images and get all kinds of different shapes and sizes. But if you want to draw, I guess the caveat there is, if you don't want your mailbox to be a distraction in your illustration, do the typical one that you would see.
Yeah.
If the story's about the mailbox.
So basically what you're saying is do 5 extra minutes of homework and go to Google Images and just pull up, what does a Central Park bench look like? Don't trace it, but draw your version of it that still looks like it.
Yep.
I'll tell you, I had a really cool assignment when I was in school, an industrial design assignment. That was my minor. And the assignment was we had to design a parking meter, but you were randomly given a different location in Los Angeles about where that parking meter would go. So somebody got a parking meter in front of the Museum of Modern Art. Somebody got one in Hollywood. Somebody got one in Venice Beach. So what would these different things look like depending on those locations?
Interesting.
It was great. It's really fun.
Well, and that assignment is sort of unique in that the idea was how does the environment, what's the signature of the environment, right? But if you're, you don't want to get that creative if it's a children's book and all of a sudden you're, little Bobby is chasing his dog who got away and they run past this like crazily designed park bench that looks
no. Well, that's what I'm saying is you got to think about what's appropriate for the place where you're talking about. So using your example, like which neighborhood does little Bobby live in, and it needs to match, right?
Yep.